Food stamp benefits disrupted for thousands as state launches new eligibility system. This is from the Chicago Tribune by Greg Trotter. Tens of thousands of Illinois households aren't receiving federal food stamp benefits leading up to the holidays because of problems with a state computer system. In 2013, the state's Department of Human Services began rolling out a new computer system to administer entitlement benefits such as Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits, more commonly known as SNAP or food stamps. The second phase of that process began in late October. In November, more than 40,000 lost their SNAP benefits, some of which have since been restored, according to state officials. As of earlier this week, more than 30,000 households remained without SNAP benefits, escalating frustrations at local benefits. Officials with the Department of Human Services and representatives of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees Union, which represents more than 2,400 human services caseworkers in Illinois, disagree on what's causing the problem. But both sides say they hope to restore benefits as soon as possible for those who are eligible. Chicago resident Edna Marshall and her family are still waiting for their SNAP benefits. Marshall, 31, in late October filed for food assistance for herself and 6 of her children, 2 of whom have disabilities, after she missed a deadline earlier that month to renew her benefits. Almost 2 months later, she said she still hasn't received any benefits. Caseworkers have told her the delay is because of the state's new system, Marshall said. "We've got to feed our kids," said Marshall, who lives in the city's Gresham neighborhood. "I've been feeding my kids with my rent money." State officials acknowledge the launch of the system's second phase hasn't gone smoothly, but say the system eventually will be more efficient and easier to use for the 1.8 million people in Illinois who receive SNAP benefits. A certain number of SNAP recipients routinely lose their benefits each month because of missed deadlines or ineligibility, but that number ballooned after the second phase of the new system was rolled out. With the old system, the state canceled some 14,000 to 15,000 cases per month. Wow. Said Diane Grisby Jackson, director of the Division of Family and Community Services for the Department of Human Services. On November 15th, under the new system, the state canceled 41,000 cases, 12,000 of which have since been reinstated, she said. Some caseworkers on the front line say they're overwhelmed and undertrained. Everybody's learning the new system, but the problem is we're learning on the backs of poor people, and we're taking their benefits away during the worst possible season, said Von Seal Metz, a human services caseworker manager at local DHS office in West Garfield Park. Metz's message for affected families: "I apologize to our customers. It's beyond our control, but I apologize." Every 6 months, a person receiving SNAP benefits has to complete an application that recertifies eligibility. But some who filed those applications in the past 2 months lost their benefits because their files had not been converted into the new system, said Metz, who is also president of the AFCME Local 2808. Converting the files has been a tedious process that has prompted long waits and angry clientele in the office, Metz said. Grisby Jackson said there are no glitches in the new computer system and that caseworkers were properly trained, but differences between the new and the old systems likely cause some people not to receive their benefits. For example, the applications to renew eligibility are due the 5th day of every month. And under the new system, benefits are automatically cut off after the 15th for cases that don't meet that deadline. Because cases had to be canceled manually in the old system, applicant had more of a grace period, she said. The changes could have been better communicated to clients, Grisby Jackson said. We want to make it right. And once we're on the other side of this, we'll have a system that's pretty amazing. With the new system, people receiving benefits, which also include Medicaid and temporary assistance for needy families, cash assistance can manage their benefits online and submit applications to a central office in Springfield, in addition to visiting the local offices as before, Grisby Jackson said. To help restore benefits to those who are eligible, the state has approved overtime pay for caseworkers. and sought approval from the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food and Nutrition Services, which oversees SNAP, to reinstate benefits. USDA is working with Illinois to provide technical assistance and policy guidance to resolve these problems, and will continue to work with Illinois to ensure benefits are correctly issued, said Jalil Issa, spokesman for the USDA Food and Nutrition Services, in an email. Lori Gladson, a caseworker manager in Peoria area, said the problems with the new system extend well beyond applicants simply missing deadlines. Many people applied to renew their benefits well before the deadline and still lost their benefits, Gladson said, in part because the central office in Springfield is overwhelmed with work. Gladson said some clients have also not been able to access their Medicaid benefits as a result. Why would you do this right before the holidays, said Gladson, who also serves as president of the AFSCME Local 51. The growing pains for the new system in Illinois come as President Trump and some Republican lawmakers gear up for a broader but unspecified push for welfare reform. In general, there's been bipartisan support for SNAP throughout past administrations. In fiscal year 2017, more than 42 million Americans received assistance through SNAP, which also provides assistance in times of disaster, with the average monthly benefit of $125 per person. Della White won the competitive bidding process to build the state's integrated eligibility system, has since submitted invoices to the state for $193 million, said Megan Powers, DHS spokesman. The federal government has agreed to pay 90% of that cost, she said. A Della White spokesman didn't respond to requests for comment. As you can see from this article, the cuts have already started to happen. They've been happening since 2013, which is something I've already said. They're just going to get worse. And this is Illinois, which is one of the bigger regions where they hand out SNAP. So that lets you know that this is going to be an ongoing process. And under Trump, when Trump budget finally gets through, which is going to be a problem, it's probably going to get worse. He already has the power to, under DHS, not DHS, but USDA, to trim down the food stamp budget as we speak, which it already has to trim itself down because of the budget constraints. You know, Obama, like him or not, actually kept the SNAP card program alive while he was in president. He slowly started to wean people in states off of the USDA SNAP program. But that is long overdue. And you have a Republican Congress and a Republican president that is not going to take the long-term slow death approach. They're going to cut off the limb, at the root. It is what it is. So you folks out there, get ready. SNAP program, Section 8, all those social safety net programs will be trimmed. I won't say they're going to be cut. They can't cut them all out, but they will be trimmed. And if you're close to the edge, you're going to get trimmed. I know some women are going to come in and complain, but there's just as many men out there that depend on this stuff. People are going to complain that it's while we picking on black women or black people, it's going to be everybody. But my concern is not other people. My concern is black people. Now, if you want to say more white people are on it, why don't you go to the white people's channel and warn them that they're going to get cut out of food stamps and Section 8 and what have you. Black women, don't worry about anybody else until their goodies are getting snatched. This is not about being fairness. And we all know that this country has not been overly fair to black people, has it? And to even mention it, especially on my channel, is worthless and not even worth my time. I probably will start deleting comments like that altogether. Stop being stupid. Do the right thing. Get yourself prepared. Start growing your own food. Start making arrangements. Start getting together and trying to form food banks. figure out another way. Here's what it is. With that, I'm going to cut off of here. Got other things to do. This is BGS out. I'll see you guys on the next one.